Welcome to Movie Madness with Mystic Unigon. This month's movie is a good summertime family watch. It is called Big Fat Liar, and it is one of my favorite comedies. So, the question, have you seen this movie? And if you haven't, I highly recommend it. But please watch it before listening to this video further, or it really won't make any sense. I will say this, the cast is superb. And it's quite relatable, which is why it's one of my favorites. So how many of you have told lies in school? I know I'm guilty, even having gone to a private school. I always got caught, though, because, if you're not a good enough liar, you get caught. Now, to be fair, based on this movie, I was never quite creative-minded as the character Jason, played by Frankie Muniz, in coming up with elaborate excuses for not having completed assignments. I usually pretty much got them done. The thing I ended up losing my ability to do was memorize, and that was because I wanted a decent part in the school play, and I was given a one-liner, and it made me think, oh, I'm not good enough, then I'm not putting forth any more effort into memorizing things for any other stuff. Like, it just kind of destroyed my mentality and desire to even want to care about that anymore. So, I ended up struggling after that. Yeah, when, you're made to feel like you suck at something, even though you don't, that's what happens. But, as far as the character Jason Shepard's creativity goes in coming up with these excuses and lies, they do add a very creative, entertaining twist to how the story goes. But what baffles me the most is after doing yard work and mowing, he actually saved all the money that he earned from that. What kid do you know saves the money that they earn? They just usually blow it on worthless crap. I mean, I'm guilty of that, and I know my kid does that too. But to actually save it? That's unusual. Now, if you really think about it, all that elaborate lying did catch up to him, and it lost his parents' trust in him. So he had to earn it back. So the real thing I always wondered, since it was a story that he had to write, and technically became a movie within a movie, why didn't they ever actually make a movie of that story that became a movie in that movie? I mean, maybe because we all already knew the plot, but it still would have been entertaining if they did it. Oh well. So, as Paul Giamatti is one of my favorite actors, and I do feel like he's very underappreciated, this is probably my favorite role of his. Even though he's technically the bad guy. He's pretty damn funny, though. Stealing a kid's homework and actually using it for a movie, because he's pretty much flopping in creativity, that kind of action could get someone sued. But since Jason couldn't get anyone to believe him about actually writing it, he had to take more drastic measures with the help of his friend Kaylee. And it's kind of cool when they get to Hollywood and see all the sights and all the film sets and stuff. I would love to go and see all that. I know it'll never happen, but it would be amazing. But all that planning that the two of them did to get Marty Wolf, well, this was more his planning. She just was kind of companionship. To try to get Marty Wolf to admit he stole the story was quite an adventure. And then, of course, them finding out that all the other people that worked for Marty Wolf didn't like him either. And then ended up going along with his big scheme and getting their own revenge on Marty. Now, if you've seen this, obviously you know it was a happy ending, despite all the crazy shenanigans and doubts that arise throughout it. But if it can teach us anything, it's simply this. Don't ever lie to those you love. That lie will come back to bite you someday. And in that, earning trust after lying is so much harder and more taxing on your own mental health than just telling the truth in the first place, as difficult as that may be. Now, as far as lying to strangers, from my personal experience, that really all depends. Considering I work in retail and I deal with a lot of rude customers. And I try to help them as best I can regardless. Here's my take on lying to strangers. If someone's coming at you rude for no reason, or making you feel uncomfortable like that creepy old man who what I felt was trying to hit on me, but then kind of gave up when he asked if he could ask me a question, and I just went, yeah, instead of saying yes, which would have been more respectful, but he was making me uncomfortable, so I pulled out the millennial slang on him. So yeah, if somebody's coming at you rude, or making you feel uncomfortable, always, always, always put your own mental health first. They're the ones compromising it by crossing your personal boundaries and causing you anxiety. That old man caused me anxiety real bad, which is why my millennial slang came out. And in his opinion, probably, I was being disrespectful. But no, he started it by making me uncomfortable and giving me anxiety. You try to hit on me, you're not going to like the response. I will lie in every way, shape, or form to get you out of here, and if it doesn't work, I'm just going to go block. So yes, lie to strangers if they're doing that kind of thing. Or just being downright rude. They don't deserve your help, even if you are in customer service or retail. If they're coming at you rude, hey, I'm sorry, there is nowhere in my book of rules or rules for whatever company you work for, there is nothing in there that says you are to tolerate customer abuse. Nothing. Nothing. If we try to help you and you're rude about it, go fuck yourself. Guess what? We're just going to walk away. At least I am, because otherwise I'm going to end up cussing somebody out. Because my anger anxiety is a lot stronger than anything else. And if it's triggered hard enough, oh yeah, it gets ugly. And I don't want to get fired. Because me getting fired would cause something else bad. And I won't go into that. So yeah, if people are rude, lie. Plain and simple. If you gotta lie and tell them what they want to hear, tell them what they want to hear, even if it ain't the truth. Just lie. If they're being rude, they don't deserve your help. They don't deserve nothing. Because they're coming at you rude first. They started it. And if it bothers you bad enough, just walk away. Your job can't fire you for walking away. You tried to help them. It wasn't good enough. So guess what? Walk away. And if your job does fire you for that, then fuck that job. Go find one that's or you could, sue them for allowing your mental health to be compromised by a customer. Because that's not right. Abuse is not part of our job description. Just saying. So, one of my biggest flaws is if somebody comes at me with malicious or anxiety-causing vibes. I can't always think of lies right off the bat. Sometimes I can't. Anxiety has a bad tendency of blocking out my thought processes for those lies. And usually when those lies come to me, it's later on to use for the next time. But oddly enough, that doesn't happen again, so maybe I meant to think of them later to help somebody else, or that's just reverse psychology in a form, because I've already planned out what I'm doing next time. But at least then I'm prepared. And if somebody else needs that information, just ask. Protect yourself. Protect yourself from the Karens and creeps, however you need to. If you gotta lie to them, do it. But don't lie to your family. 'Cause they will find out eventually. And like I said, earning their trust back after lying and getting caught, it's not worth it. So tell the truth right off the bat, and everything should be fine. That's all for this movie madness. I will see you guys next month. Let me know what you rank this movie out of 10. I'm gonna have to give it an 8, maybe an 8.5, just 'cause. Thank y'all for watching.